Hollywood. The very word conjures images of dazzling lights, iconic palm trees, and the enduring dreams of would-be stars. Nestled within the sprawling cityscape of Los Angeles, Hollywood stands not only as a physical place, but as a symbol, the heart of the global entertainment industry, the launchpad of dreams, and sometimes the crucible in which ambition is tested. To understand Hollywood, one must travel back to the early 20th century. The story begins in a simpler era, before the invention of the blockbuster or the rise of streaming platforms. In the early 1900s, filmmakers, seeking to escape the stringent control of Thomas Edison's Motion Picture Patents Company, based on the East Coast, began migrating westward. Drawn by the promise of inexpensive land, abundant sunlight, diverse landscapes for on-location shoots, and a degree of freedom from restrictive patents, they found in Hollywood a haven. Soon, small studios started cropping up among the orange groves and rolling hills. By 1911, the first film studio was established in Hollywood. The area rapidly transformed, and by the 1920s, it had become the epicenter of American cinema. Names like Paramount, Warner Brothers, Universal, and MGM began to not only produce films, but to define popular culture, shaping the imaginations and aspirations of millions around the world. The iconic Hollywood sign, originally reading Hollywoodland to advertise a new housing development, soon became a beacon representing the possibility of fame and fortune. The golden age of Hollywood, spanning the 1920s through the 1950s, ushered in a legendary era marked by glamour, innovation, and myth creation. On screen, stars like Clark Gable, Marilyn Monroe, Humphrey Bogart, and Audrey Hepburn captivated audiences, while directors like Alfred Hitchcock and Billy Wilder crafted enduring masterpieces. This was a studio-driven system, where stars were carefully groomed, contracts were notoriously ironclad, and movies became grand spectacles designed to transport viewers far from the realities of everyday life. Back then, Hollywood was a land of possibility, but also of secrets. Behind the alluring facade, studios maintained strict control over their stars' public images, sometimes dictating personal relationships and stage names. Stories of lavish parties, romances, scandals, and feuds swirled just out of public view, feeding a fascination that only grew as the tabloids and gossip columns flourished alongside the industry. As tastes and technologies changed, Hollywood adapted. The 1950s brought the rise of television, at first considered a threat to cinema. But Hollywood kept evolving. Bigger, more colorful films were made to lure audiences back into theaters. Epics like Ben-Hur, musicals like Singin' in the Rain, and science fiction wonders like 2001: A Space Odyssey showcased not just technological advancements, but also Hollywood's enduring power to reinvent itself. The late 1960s and 1970s saw a new generation of filmmakers rise. Known as the New Hollywood era, directors like Martin Scorsese, Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, and Francis Ford Coppola revolutionized storytelling, bringing grit, realism, and experimental techniques to the silver screen. From Star Wars to The Godfather, these films influenced culture globally and solidified Hollywood's role as a cultural powerhouse. Even as the nature of stardom changed, Hollywood's allure never faded. If the Golden Age made stars mythical, later decades made them relatable. The 1980s and 90s embraced the blockbuster. Think E.T., Jurassic Park, Titanic, and Forrest Gump, as well as franchises and ever-improving visual effects. Meanwhile, stars like Tom Hanks, Julia Roberts, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Will Smith decided not just styles, but public conversations and charitable movements. But Hollywood is more than movies. The fabric of this storied district includes its theaters, like the TCL Chinese Theater with celebrity handprints in its forecourt, the Dolby Theater, home of the Academy Awards, and the Hollywood Bowl, an open-air amphitheater hosting concerts under the stars. And, of course, there's the Hollywood Walk of Fame, a vibrant stretch of sidewalk embedded with the names of thousands of artists, musicians, actors, and behind-the-scenes visionaries. Through all its transformations, Hollywood remains both a dream factory and a reflection of the times. Every era brings new challenges and opportunities, The emergence of independent cinema, the rise of international stars, and more recently, the explosion of streaming services have all forced Hollywood to reconsider how it tells stories and whom those stories reach. Now, powerful new voices are demanding more diversity, more authenticity, and greater representation for women, people of color, and LGBTQ+ creators, both in front of and behind the camera. Yet if you stroll down Hollywood Boulevard today, you'll find remnants of every era, a tourist snapping a photo beside the Walk of Fame, a hopeful actor heading to an audition, the glint of a set of studio lights, and probably, somewhere nearby, someone working on the next great screenplay. Beyond the surface glamour, the heart of Hollywood is built on ambition, reinvention, and resilience. Hollywood, for all its imperfections and contradictions, remains a symbol of what can be achieved at the intersection of hard work and creative energy. It has weathered storms, both literal and metaphorical, and continues to evolve, shaped by new artistic visions and ever-shifting audience expectations. It is a place of legend, of reinvention, of hope, and yes, sometimes of heartbreak. But above all, Hollywood endures as a reminder that stories matter. They draw us together, spark our imagination, and remind us of the unyielding power of dreams. In a world that constantly changes, Hollywood's story is, in many ways, the never-ending story, where every ending is just a new beginning, and where, for better or worse, the pursuit of the impossible is always in the spotlight. Thanks for watching, sharing, supporting, and subscribing this videos.